Hey everyone, this video is to model our system of unpacking a prompt using P.A.S.S.I.T. It's a really easy acronym to remember when you think, I've got a prompt in front of me, I'm about to write an essay, what do I want to do? I want to pass it. So I'm going to model unpacking our specific prompt for today's essay on paper because that is a system that makes the most sense to me, and that's also the way we will unpack essays once we're back in person. However, you can follow along with this video and complete the chart in your student materials as we go. All right, let's get started. So in front of you, you can see the prompt for this assignment. Write an essay stating your position on whether or not it is okay to break the law. So the first thing I want to do is the P. This is where I'm going to take the prompt and I'm going to turn it into a question. So whenever I see words like whether or who, what, when, where, why, I know I'm about to be presented with a question. Whether or not it is okay to break the law. I can turn that into, is it okay to break the law? Why or why not? Now, at this point, you might be thinking, well, it's sometimes okay and it's sometimes not, so I want to write about both. For an argumentative assignment, it is absolutely necessary that you choose a side, even if you can see both sides. In order to meet the criteria of the rubric, you have to pick one. So keep that in mind as we go through this. All right, we've got our P. The next step in P.A.S.S.I.T is A. So we are looking for our audience. This prompt doesn't tell us who we're writing to, so we are going to default to an adult reader. Our next step is the S, which is where we ask, what style of essay am I being asked to write? This essay is telling you to state your position, and then it's asking you a question where there are clearly multiple sides. And so both of these things, state your position and having to choose a side, should signal to you that this is an argumentative essay. It doesn't tell us how long it needs to be, but we always default to 5 paragraphs. So I've gotten through the P, A, and the S. I'm going to do our next S, which is our structure. This is where we take the time to consider, what am I going to write about in each part of my essay? So right here, I'm just going to draw an upside down triangle, a square, another square, and an upside down triangle. This should align with what you have in your student materials as well. I know my intro will be here. This will be BP1, BP2, and then my conclusion. That's only 4 paragraphs, right? So I've got my little square over here. That's also going to be for my counterclaims. And it's not drawn over here because some of you are going to choose to make it your second paragraph. Some of you will choose to do it at the end. So it kind of floats over here as its own little thing, but it's BP3. Okay? So we've got the basic outline of our structure. We can move on to writing our thesis. Then we can come back later and fill in the rest of the structure. So I'm going to flip my page over. And I need to craft a thesis, as well as identifying my sources. I like to craft my thesis first, then go back and find my sources, because I like to know what I need to look for in terms of sources. For my thesis, I'll go back and look at the P and then answer those questions to create my sentence frame. So our question was, Is it okay to break the law? Why or why not? I'm going to answer either it is okay to break the law because blank and blank. Or if you disagree with this statement, then you will say it is not okay to break the law because blank and blank. Now, this part here, I'm going to annotate it. All of this, it is okay to break the law. This would make up your claim. It is not okay to break the law, in this example, is their claim. You'll notice whether I chose it is okay or it's not okay, I include 2 blanks after the word because. The reason for that is we need 2 main reasons to support our claim. I don't know what reasons you're going to choose, but whatever you choose, you can fill them in on the line now. This is not just true for this assignment, but for all assignments. We'll have a claim plus reason 1 and reason 2. Why do we need these reasons? How does it fit into our structure? So earlier we did the basic outline of what we're going to write about. Now that you've taken the time to decide what your reasons are, it might say things like, it is okay to break the law because sometimes laws are unfair, and you need to do what's best for your family. You might have said, it is not okay to break the law because rules are there for a reason, and in order for society to function, we need order. Whatever those reasons are, you can go back to your structure section and fill in reason 1 and reason 2. Now, obviously, it wouldn't actually say the word reason, but you would plug in your own reason there. Now that you know what your opinion is, you can also identify a counterclaim. So if you chose it is okay, a counterclaim would be it is not okay. If you chose it is not okay, a counterclaim would be it is okay. All right, the last piece we have here is identifying our sources. So because we're online right now, you can use the good old Google and go find sources which back up your reasons. If my reason 1 was because sometimes laws are unjust, I would go out and find my 2 sources that support that. If you can only find 1, that's okay. If whatever my reason 2 was, I would go out and find my 1 or 2 sources, and I would write down the name of the source here. I'm gonna add a little note on here. What do I need from my source? I need a quote that I plan to use, which supports my claim. I need the name of the source or the publication so I can cite it. And I need the name of the author so I can cite it as well. These are the 3 things you jot down next to each of your reasons. It's best to find 1 to 2 sources, but if you're pressed for time, just focus on finding 1 to 2 quotes. 2 per reason. Okay? So now, when I'm looking back at my prompt, I've taken the time to make sure I'm answering the correct question, figuring out who I'm writing to, what type of essay I'm writing, how long it needs to be, plan out what I'm going to talk about in each of my paragraphs, find the sources I want to use to best support my argument, and crafted a thesis with a claim and 2 reasons. All of that is done. If you followed along with me, it might have taken 10 minutes, which can save you a ton of time in the future. You'll get a lot faster at these as they go. And again, I think of this as like a roadmap for getting in the car. You want to know how to pass it. You want to know where you're going before you leave the car. Before you leave your house, so you don't waste any gas and you get there efficiently. All right, take the time you need to finish this prompt now. And if you need support with your introductions, you can watch the next video.